Hey, what's up, YouTube? Brad and Bordy here. Today, we got some new information about another class in Ashes of Creation, and that is the tank archetype. I just kind of combined those two words. Yo, Bordy, what do you think, dude? Another class.
Yeah, man, I always enjoy seeing these, bro. It's nice to see them release the tank. I'm always excited to see these, but what I really want to see is the morph of the archetypes, man. I want to see the secondary archetype. But so far, these are cool, man. I like the tank. It's just dope.
True. All right, dude. Well, let's hop right in here and we'll watch the first ability and we'll go from here, dude. So
yeah.
I started it actually right as it was announcing the Kalar tank. So we're I know you're following along here, Bordy. So we'll just keep narrating and keep talking until we get to the first actual ability, which is Weapon Toss. Now, Weapon Toss throws your weapon at your target, dealing damage, generating additional threat. Bordy, what are your thoughts on what seems to be the first of many, no spoilers, or I guess spoiler alert, first of many taunts in the tank's skill tree?
Yeah, it's cool, man. So does this generate, does this generate, well, I guess generating threat would just generate like threat on all of these mobs, right? On all three, because this hits all three. Yeah. But I guess whenever you're taunting, I guess is it going to be like an AOE taunt or like a single target taunt? Because isn't taunting in like ESO? It's all single target, right? There's no like AOE taunt.
No, there's shouts and stuff. I think that has some, like the Dragon Knight has some abilities that gains taunt through AOE, I believe. This looks like an AoE ability. It hits the three people, the three different mobs, and, you know, well, I just didn't go back far enough there. All right, so then, yeah, dealing damage generates threat. So I would assume that is it, dude. That's just more, I mean, it probably has like a target limit, I would guess. Maybe the target limit is 3, but it's a multiple target threat generation thing, so.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about the ability other than he's jumping up and down again with the animation, which I think is going to get criticized probably pretty heavily. I don't know. I haven't went on the Reddits or the forums to look, but all the jumping animations I know is kind of a qualm amongst the community. But other than that, dude, it looks fine. No over-the-top crazy animation. Ability seems solid. I think it's fine, man. I like it.
For some reason, I get a big kick out of you being an old man about the animations. I think it's hilarious. I don't know why. All right, dude. Well, let's check out the next one, and it is Bulwark. Now, Bulwark strikes your enemy strikes your target, and increases your block chance and generates additional threat. Now, this is interesting to me because in the animation that we see, it shows something over the target's head as well. So I wonder, we know that it increases your block chance, but what is it doing to the target? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess maybe I guess, but it doesn't do that whenever you generate threat on other targets. So I'm not real sure what that little icon is. Maybe to let people know that your block, maybe it's to let people know that you just increased your block chance by casting Bulwark. Maybe it's just a sign to let, I don't know,
maybe
another
only
visual indicator.
Maybe only the block chance on that enemy, possibly, right? So that's why it's got like the little bit of a debuff or whatever there.
Yeah, maybe. So if you're in a crowd, oh man, excuse me. If you're in a crowd fighting multiple enemies, yeah, you're right. Maybe if you just hit that one enemy, it's only against him. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah.
All right.
Probably a good take on that.
So and again, this is named the tank, which I have a little bit of a problem with. I'd like to see them create something like, you know what I mean? I would like to see like Guardian or Stalwart or, you know what I mean? It just seems like it's named the role of the actual class. So maybe because Cleric is not healer. So maybe they'll think of something different for the tank. Maybe they won't, because I guess all your subclasses determine your actual subclass name anyway. So
yeah, I think that's the thing, is like the primary archetype is just plain names. And once you go into your secondary, that's whenever you get the cool names, man.
I'm a tank mage.
Yeah, but then that has a specific name.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anyways, all right, dude. So let's get to the next ability here, and that is Ultimate Defense. Now, Ultimate Defense provides increasing mitigation based on missing health up to full invulnerability. Reduces movement speed while active. Dude, this is a very, very powerful ability, Bordy. And I would assume that means that while this ability is active, your health reaches 1%, you are now invulnerable. So, dude, this is
that's what I would assume too. Yeah,
this is a pretty cool ability, man. This is one of the my favorite ones in the tank moveset. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too. It seems pretty strong, man. Seems like a very good situational ability to use. But I can't get over the mob that's fighting here, dude.
Yo,
like,
that mob is dope looking, dude.
Dude, it's so cool. Whenever I watched this through the first time, I didn't even pay attention to the ability because my eyes are stuck on that mob, dude. It looks amazing. But the ability, yeah, it's cool, man. I like it. I think it's a good ability. It's going to be interesting to see how people utilize that, especially in like PvP situations. You know, it's almost like
right.
I don't know. I wonder how long it lasts. Does it say how long it lasts? It doesn't.
No, not in. I'm sure they are going to titrate or move those back and forth as they get feedback. But what's interesting to me, dude, is having this as a subclass, having tank as a subclass. Are you going to gain some of these defensive abilities that could be very good in PvP? Especially, based on your primary class. It'll be interesting to see. Can you, sneak in some of this invulnerability? That'd be dope, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Next ability we have here, Bordy, is Javelin. Now, Javelin pulls your target to your location and generates additional threat. So it makes you Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Pretty much, man. Makes you Scorpion or makes you there's a Dragon Knight pool in ESO too that does almost the same thing. Only this one, I like the animation on this one a lot. This is probably my favorite animation of all. And I like also how it yanks the target down on the ground, and they it's not just they're not just standing up and like hovering whenever you pull them. They actually fall down, or so it seems looking at this, and you drag them to you. It's pretty cool.
You pull the guy. And then he gets dragged on his bottom, but not like it stops. So it doesn't put him like 1 meter or butt to butt against you. It does seem to like drag him within like 2 or 3 meters. So
it's really cool.
All right, dude. Next tank ability we have here is Lacerate. Now, Lacerate slashes your target, dealing instant damage and bleeds that target over time. Generates additional threat, just like everything else in the tank's kit generates threat. Now this is an interesting thing for me, Bordy. Again, with tank as a subclass. Now I think it'll be interesting to see if threat is a big part of having that as your subclass or not. Or are you just going to get the basis of these abilities like the bleeds, the pulls, the invulnerability, the increased armor? Or are you going to be able to make a tank or a an off tank or whatever you want to call it by choosing tank as your off your secondary class?
Yeah, maybe so. I think that's yet to be determined, but it will be interesting to see like how that works out, because what if you can just generate threat with all of these abilities that you morph into? That'd be crazy, man. But I think this is the first kind of tank ability that we've seen. The first ability we've seen did a lot of damage, but I think I don't know about a lot of damage, but it did damage. This is like a dot, which I find interesting, man. I don't know that. Have you played games? Well, I guess I keep referencing.
Have I played
ESO.
games? Yes, I have.
Come on, man. I stopped my sentence. I'm sorry, but I keep referencing ESO, but there I played a tank Dragon Knight in there too, and it does have some AoE damage abilities as well. So,
I think
I was going to say this seems unique for a tank to have a bleed on a Lacerate ability. It just seems like a unique ability. Lacerate plus generating threat. It's not something that I'm used to seeing from a tank.
True. So it'll be interesting to see if the bleed ticks actually generate threat as they tick on the character. And what's interesting about ESO is I think you typically, if you're a tank, you chose sword and board, right? And that particular tree had a lot of threat generation in it as well. So that's what's kind of, I think, in the ways of similarity, that's what I think tank is going to be for Ashes of Creation. If you're going to be, if you're going to obviously be a tank, you're going to have to choose the tank line. Just like in ESO, you basically had to choose sword and board if you're going to be an effective tank to hold aggro. So yeah, dude. I mean, we knew this before because we saw the cleric skill tree, and you basically, I think, have to use the cleric skill tree to be an effective healer, and I think the same goes for tank. You're gonna have to use the tank skill tree to be an effective tank.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there.
All right, dude. So the next ability is Merbadon. Now, Merbadon strikes your target and increase your damage mitigation and generates additional threat. So here we go again, dude. Another strike that increases your mitigation and generates threat. Not much here, dude. And again, I understand why they're doing this, but it is very evident again that your threat generation is going to be linked to the tank tree.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say about that ability. The dude gets up. He's got mad hops on that ability, but that's about it. I mean, everything else is just pretty standard,
Dude, you're magic. We're all magic, okay? That's the world. Everybody's hoppy. Everybody's got their ultra boosts on. Or their Reebok, what were those things?
I mean, he jumps like really high.
Yo, back when we were kids, what was a pump? Was that what they're called?
Shoes, man.
No, Reebok.
Oh, those things.
The things you
pump it up.
Yeah, the pump. Reebok pump.
Make your shoes tight. Yeah, I had a pair of those.
Yeah, man. Everybody has got those. In
okay.
Ashes.
Ashes pumps, dude.
Yeah, dude. Sponsored by Reebok. All right, our next ability here is Onslaught. Onslaught, charge your target, provides a small damage absorbing shield, generates additional threat. This is a dope move, dude. One that I could definitely see morphing into some pretty crazy looking stuff.
Yeah, this is it looks like a gap closer. It's really cool. I think we see this in a lot of other MMOs, just a gap closer where you kind of generate a shield and generate threat from a tank. But it does look cool, man. And I think this has a lot of potential to generate or to morph into a lot of really cool secondary archetype abilities.
Yeah, and I think didn't they show like a fighter has that close gap ability too. So as a tank fighter, dude, I mean, you're gonna be zooming all over the map.
Yeah, what if you get like super speed, man?
Yeah,
it's like a super speed gap closer.
Yeah, dude. And obviously we know it's gonna be cool, dude. I'm excited to see. Hopefully in the alpha, we'll get to start to see the morphs of these abilities and how crazy they get, because that's one of the things I think I'm most interested in Ashes. So here is the next ability is Shockwave. Stomp on the ground in front of you, knocking down and dealing damage to all targets and generating additional threat. And another AoE taunt here, one that appears to do AoE damage as well. Bordy, Shockwave.
Yep. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it, man.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty cut and dry, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to really elaborate on some of these abilities because they're kind of cut and dry tank abilities. They're tank abilities, and then every single ability is generating additional threat, which is kind of crazy, man. I don't know. Other MMOs, do they have every single ability that the tank generates threat on every ability? I haven't seen that.
I think I think probably, or in a lot of MMOs, damage itself generates threat. And so I guess they're, in these particular abilities, they're noting that these abilities generate additional threat from what you would when, you deal damage. So obviously this is going to be their way to keep the threat or the aggro of the target with tanking. And dude, I see what they're doing. They're setting up very basic skills. That way, when we do get to the morphs and when you're choosing your subclass, that will affect, I think, definitely the way you're tanking at that point, whether you pick cleric or mage or whatever. So, all right, dude. I think there was one more ability. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Resounding Smash. Resounding Smash smashes the ground in front of you, dealing damage to all targets. A second hit resounds on the primary target. Generates additional threat. Okay, that's an interesting wording. A second hit resounds on the primary target. So I guess you get a double hit on the primary target. So you're getting threat, obviously, again. Another AoE ability. Looks to be more in the general, a line or a cleave type, whereas the one before this one was more of a widespread cone AoE. So a little bit of variance there. But again, another AoE ability to generate threat, which is cool, dude. I like to see tanking like that. I like to see the ability to hold more than one target without having to, like, we don't know what type of combat Ashes of Creation is going to go with at this point, but tab targeting and having to tab target each individual target to generate threat, it gets old quickly.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. So I would think it seems like that's not going to be an issue with this game, though. It seems like there's a lot of AoE threat generation happening here, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I don't either. All right, was there another one? I don't think so. I think this is it. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at some cool cutscenes as we lead you guys out. But this is the tank, boys. This is what it's gonna look like. If you're interested in tanking, I know I have a lot of friends that like tanking. There's your primary or your base set 1 through level 10. Those are the abilities you're going to gain. They haven't really talked to us, Bordy, yet if you're going to get more abilities after level 10, or is that what I do remember, the choice of your subclass comes in there. So maybe that's just when you start choosing your morphs and leveling up your morphs and making the selection whether you're going to go wide or go deep on your subclass selection. So maybe that's when that's
you're probably right.
So,
yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us for this video. We love doing these. These are a lot of fun. We've already hit the cleric and the mage. And so now we have one more to add to the books. Maybe eventually, once these are all out, we'll start a playlist. Even a playlist that might go up on Ashes Fans, our Ashes of Creation website. If you guys are interested in creating a guild of Ashes of Creation, you should go check out Ashes Fans. You can create an account. Put your guild up there, and we might even show it on our podcast, Ashes to Go. So, dude, we're hyped about the game. We know you guys are too. We appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't hit the sub button, dude, hit the sub button. Over 81% of the people that watch our videos are not sub, dude. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, dude?
Just press the button.
Just hit the button. It'll be good. We promise. We put out videos Monday through Friday. 8 a.m. every day. 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, we don't want to get any hate on the East or West Coast for not putting our videos up on time, or maybe early. I guess if you're on the West Coast. So, all right. Well, that's enough rambling. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.